Let me ask you, there's a move to recall the governor. Do you support that?
No, I don't. I have been very impressed by the governor. When I started my Freedom of Information Act request, I believe, like a lot of people, that perhaps this was a result of trying to save money and not caring about people. And you can read the emails yourself. They're on our website.
Yeah.
And when I did the Freedom of Information Act request, I was very reassured both by the governor's actions and Dane Walling.
Yeah.
And the thing that they can be faulted for is being overly trusting of the DEQ and the EPA.
Yeah.
And who amongst us, except me,
right,
who lived through Washington, D.C. and saw what these agencies are capable of, who amongst us would not trust the top cop in the region, Susan Hedman, if they said, we're sorry about, the Del Toro memo, and we'll get back to you if there's a problem.
That's just crazy. I mean, that's just crazy. And I can't understand it. When the governor, the people, because you have to believe, if you believe the governor, this is one thing I talked with, spent an hour with Dane Walling after the election as well. And, you try to figure this stuff out, and you'd have to believe that to save, $200,000 a year, this was the policy of the governor.
It was even 50,000.
50,000.
Yeah. And what's more, it's the law. Okay, I mean, it was in putting the orthophosphate in the water, which would have stopped this problem. There's a law that says you have to do it, and this law is so important. We have people at the state whose sole job it is to make sure it's followed. This is not something a mayor or a governor or an emergency manager meddles in. I mean, that's why we have this policeman here saying, thou shalt have corrosion control.
Yeah.
And they didn't. And then they covered it up. I mean, it would have been one thing, if they said, I forgot.
Right.
But they covered this up, both MDEQ and EPA, over, this heroic EPA employee put his career on the line.
Miguel Del Toro.
It's incredible.
So what do you attribute? I mean, is it incompetence? Is it arrogance? What is the human motive for this?
Well, what happened, if you look at my TED Talk on what happened in Washington, D.C., these institutions are corrupt, and you ask, how can they become that way? In Washington, D.C., there were actually 5 whistleblowers. I kid you not. 5 whistleblowers tried to protect the public to make sure they were informed about lead in water, about falsified science at EPA or CDC. Those heroic people were fired, all 5. And all the perpetrators at CDC and the EPA kept their jobs. And so you ask, how is it we get these corrupt institutions where these policemen, environmental policemen, are the criminals? Just look at Washington, D.C. If you do your job at these agencies, you are in danger of getting fired. So I could go over case after case after case where people like Miguel, they did their job, they're caring, they went out of their way. EPA should have been the hero here.
Right.
And Miguel's boss comes in and allows him to be discredited, puts him in a closet, says he can't talk to anyone to Flint or about Flint. And people wonder, how does this happen? It's because we're allowing it to happen. Good people are being destroyed at these agencies every day. And weak cowards are being promoted and keep their jobs.